So the first question of today. So we have five questions and I'll give you 6 minutes. We'll discuss this after 6 minutes. Yes, guys, last 20 seconds. Easy set, isn't it? Yeah, but what type of graph is this? What type of graph is this? Bar. Yeah, bar precise. This is called stacked bar graph. Okay. So the answers are C, B, C, D, A. I think we have right answers from majority. Now let's look at this. So let's first try to understand the graph, isn't it? So the following bar graph shows the composition of GDP of two countries. Okay, so they are India and Pakistan. Okay, so this represents agriculture, this is services, this is manufacturing, exports, and miscellaneous. No, so now if I consider the total GDP of India is 100x, and if the total GDP of Pakistan is 100y, can someone tell me their split in agriculture, services, manufacturing, exports, and miscellaneous? So if I consider the total GDP of India is 100x, what will be its composition in agriculture? Perfect. It will be 40x because 40%, isn't it? This is 40%. So out of this 100x, 40x was accounted for agriculture. And for services, 20x. Perfect. So you need to find this value. This is 20%, isn't it? So for services, it is 20x. Okay. And for manufacturing, 10x, 10%. Okay. For exports, this part, this represents 20x. Sorry, 20%, so 20x. And miscellaneous, 10x. And for Pakistan, for agriculture, it is 40%, so 40y, then 20y, then 20y, then 10y, and 10y. So the only difference is in exports and manufacturing. So rest everything are same. Now, if the total GDP of Pakistan is 10,000 crores, so this 100y is 10,000 crores, then GDP accounted for manufacturing. So out of this 100y, 20%, 20y is accounted for manufacturing. So, okay, so if the total amount is 10,000 crores, so what is 20% of this 10,000 crores? 2,000, isn't it? So if the total GDP is 10,000 crores, 2,000 crores are accounted for manufacturing. Perfect. Okay, straightforward question. Now coming to 22. What fraction of India GDP is accounted for by services? So for services, 20% of GDP, isn't it? So if I consider 100x to be the total GDP, out of this 100x, 20x will be for services, isn't it? So what is the fraction? 20x by 100x, 1 by 5. So the answer for this question will be 1 by 5. So option B. Now coming to 23rd. So if the total GDP of India is 30,000 crores, so total GDP of India is 30,000 crores, then GDP accounted for agriculture, services, and miscellaneous. So 40% GDP is accounted for agriculture, 20% for services, and 10% for miscellaneous. Okay, so these three account for 70% of GDP. So what is 70% of 30,000 crores? 21,000 crores. So the answer for this question should be 21,000 crores. So these three are pretty straightforward questions. Okay, now coming to 24. Okay, this is one good question. So which country accounts for higher earning out of services and manufacturing together? So if the GDP is of India is, let us say, 100x and Pakistan say 100y. Okay, so GD earnings out of services and manufacturing. So out of services and manufacturing, services it is 20x and manufacturing it is 10x. whereas it will be 20y and 20y. So you have 40y here. So which is maximum, 30x or 40y? Which is maximum? 40y. See, here we are not comparing 30 and 40. Here between comparison is between 30x and 40y. So which is maximum? You don't know, because this depends on the value of x. If the value of x is 5 and value of y is 4, this will be maximum. If value of x is 6 and value of y is 4, this will be maximum. So you cannot determine which is maximum. So to do that, we should be given with the values of x and y or GDPs of India and Pakistan. So the answer for this question should be cannot be determined. Guys, clear? Quick responses, please. Yes. Okay. So moving ahead. Now, if the total GDP is same for both countries, so now let us consider the total GDP of India is 100x and Pakistan is also 100x. Then what percentage is Pakistan's income through agriculture? So what is Pakistan's income through agriculture? It will be 40% of 100x, so 40x is over India's income through services. So what is India's income through services? 20x. So what was asked in the question? By what percentage is 40x more than 20x? Isn't it? So to answer this question, 40x minus 20x by 20x into 100. So what is the answer for this question? 100x. So this is double of that. Okay. So the answer for this question should be. So I consider first three questions as straightforward questions. Fourth and fifth are little tricky. Okay. So fourth and fifth questions isn't. Can I have quick responses, please? Yes. Yeah. Guys, so any doubts in data interpretation so far? Quick responses. Any doubts in data interpretation? Why 20x and 40x? Because it is given that GDP is same for both countries. So let me consider 100x. The GDP of both countries be 100x. Okay. Then what is Pakistan's income through agriculture? Pakistan's income is 40% of the GDP through agriculture, isn't it? So it will be 40x here. And what is India's income through services? 20%. So 20% of 100x. So 20x. Isn't it? Quick responses, guys. Any doubts in data interpretation so far? But calculations are taking much time. Yes, I agree that. But you need to understand where to make animations and make them easy. Otherwise, you need to practice calculation. So in data interpretation, you cannot what you do not have shortcuts for calculations. Calculations are to be done. We can't avoid them, isn't it? Okay, so no doubts. So okay, so let's move to Venn diagrams. So how many of you consider Venn diagrams easy? So Venn diagrams is not syllogisms. Okay, Venn diagrams will be used in, can be used in syllogisms. Okay, but Venn diagrams is a separate topic. Okay, so in this class, we will be discussing various models of Venn diagrams that are asked in previous KRT exams. Okay, they are easy, but sometimes they might be little bit confusing, isn't it? Yeah. So yes. So moving ahead. First question on Venn diagrams. I'll give you 1.5 minutes. So we have different answers: BG, BAG, BAG. So how to answer these type of questions in exam? Okay. So what was given to us? Okay. So in the following figure, square represents teachers. Teachers. Triangle represents swimmers. Circle represents nurses. And rectangle represents women. Okay. Now, which set of letters represents teachers who are either swimmers or nurses? Okay. So the first. Now, my question is, I have a question, guys. So, which set of letters represents teachers who are either swimmers or nurses? Should we consider the region which is common to teachers, swimmers, and nurses or not? Should we consider this or not? Is my question. Can we have teachers who are both swimmers and nurses or not? So we have 4 responses as yes, 2 responses no, no, no.
No, sir.
Why no? Why is that no? So is it said that
Either.
okay, either or? See, either or it can be okay. I will write teachers plus swimmers, okay, or teachers plus nurses, isn't it? Teachers and swimmers, teachers and nurses. Okay. Now, can't we have teachers, swimmers, and nurses as well? Can't we have this? So who said but not both? Okay. So if it is given that who are either only swimmers or only nurses, then we cannot consider this. Okay. but teachers who are either swimmers or nurses. So in these type of statements, we need to consider them. You need to consider them. So if the question is asked about which set of letters represents teachers who are either only swimmers and who are either only nurses, okay, then you should not consider this. Or if it is given that which set of letters represents teachers who are either swimmers or nurses but not both. If any of these two statements is given, then you cannot consider that. Otherwise, you need to consider that. Clear? Clear, guys? Quick responses. Yes. Okay. Now we have to find the common region between teachers and swimmers. Now let's see. So this is teachers, this is swimmers. So B and A. So B and A represents teachers who are swimmers, isn't it? Now we need to find the common region between teachers and nurses. So this is that. Now, do we have any region common to swimmers and nurses? No. Okay. So these two regions, B and J represents teachers who are swimmers, and G represents teachers who are nurses. So what should be the answer for this question? It should be B, A, and G. The answer should be B, A, and G. Okay, clear, guys? So you need to identify those regions. You need to identify either or means either it can be teachers swimmers or teachers and nurses. You should be considering both the regions. But asked only either swimmers or nurses. So what was asked in the question? Teachers who are swimmers. So what is the common region between teachers and swimmers? B and A, isn't it? Or teachers and nurses, isn't it? So what is the common region between teachers and nurses? G. So you need to consider these three. Okay. Now let us discuss one example. Now you have, for example, two types of people: drinking tea, drinking coffee, isn't it? So if I say that we have 20 people who drink only tea, so this region represents drinking only tea, 10 people drinking both tea and coffee, and 30 people drinking only coffee. Now if I ask you, okay, how many people are drinking either tea or coffee, what will be your answer? Let us understand the difference between either or and. What will be your answer? Either tea or coffee. 60, isn't it? So we have all these 60 people drinking either tea or coffee. So the answer will be for either tea or coffee. So while tea aina tagachu, coffee aina tagachu. So the answer will be 60. Now what if I ask you, what are the total number of students, okay, who drink either only tea or only coffee? Then what will be your answer? Okay, then it will be 20 plus 30, 50. Okay, when I ask you the number of students who drink only tea or only coffee. Now, so if I ask you who drink either tea or coffee but not both, then what will be your answer? It will again be 50, isn't it? It will again be 50. Okay, now if I ask you how many of the students drink tea and coffee, your answer? The answer will be 10. So using this example, this is a simple example, isn't it? Now you understood how to determine the regions for either tea or coffee, only tea or only coffee? Okay, either tea or coffee, but not both, and tea. Yes. So still, if anyone have any doubts, quick responses. Either or, it can be tea or coffee. Yeah, either it can be tea or coffee. So you will be having 60, isn't it? So A includes women too. Okay, so let it include women. Which set of letters represents teachers who are either swimmers or nurses? Okay, is it mentioned that they should not be women or what? No, it's not mentioned. So either they can be men or women. But we are considering both also. Yeah, but here there is not no introduction. Okay, now for example, if I ask you in this example, in this them drink at least one beverage, what will be your answer? Drinking at least one beverage, what will be your answer? 60 kada, isn't it? So at least one beverage on either tea or coffee, either of one beverages, this is similar to either of one beverage, so they can also drink both. So please try to understand this. So means only swimmers. So which set represents teachers who are swimmers? So you need to find the region common to triangle and square. So B and A. So the region common to triangle and nurses, G. So the answer should be B, A, and G. Clear? Quick responses, guys. Clear, clear, clear. So F here F represents the region which has only teachers. Okay, only teachers. Okay, so let's move to next question. You will understand it better. So 15, 15, 15. So unanimous answers 15. We have one answer 27. Okay, let's see. Now, in this figure shown below, the rectangle represents managers. So this represents managers. Okay. The triangle represents women. So this represents women. And the circle represents singers. Now, how many singers are neither women nor managers? Okay. So how many regions do we have in these singers? We have 4 regions. Okay. One represents 15. Okay. 15 persons. Okay. Other represents 12, 7, and 4. So we need to find that region. Okay. Where you have singers who are neither women nor managers. Now, can this be 7? Can that be 7? No. Okay, because these 7 are singers and women, isn't it? But in the question, it is mentioned that they should be singers and they should not be women or managers. So it cannot be 7. Now, can this be 12? No. So 12 represents the region where you have singers and managers, isn't it? So this can also be eliminated. Now, what does this 4 represent? What does this 4 represent? These 4 represent singers who are both women and managers. So this can also be eliminated, isn't it? So they want only singers. So the answer for this question should be 15. Okay. So the answer for this question should be 15. Now, any doubts, guys? Any doubts in this question? Quick responses. No. Okay. So our Venn diagrams easy. How many of you consider Venn diagrams easy? You can raise your hands. Four. Yeah. Until now it's easy, but sometimes they might be confusing. Okay. So do we have to attempt a question from Venn diagrams? Yes. But you should be very careful. Please don't leave questions from Venn diagram. No, 15 is not whole semicircle. 15 is this region, ma. 15 is this region. 15 is not whole semicircle. Okay. Now, coming to third question. So I'll give you 1.5 minutes. We'll discuss this after 1.5 minutes. So in the following diagram, the triangle stands for males. Okay. No. The circle stands for doctors. This is doctors. The rectangle stands for government employed. Hexagon stands for corona warriors. Now the numbers of persons in that segment. Now, how many government employed doctors are corona warriors but are not males? Okay, so you employees who are doctors, okay, who are corona warriors. Okay. Now let us find the region common to government employees and doctors. Okay. So what are the regions common to government employees and doctors? Can I say this 34, this 14, this 22, and this 16? Sorry, isn't it? Okay. So these four regions, government employed doctors. Yes or no? Any doubts? Quick responses. Okay. Now, out of these four regions, we need to determine who are corona warriors as well. Okay, so these 35 are not corona warriors, hence can be eliminated. Okay, so we have two regions with one with 22 and other region with 16, isn't it? Now, but they should not be males. Now, do we have any region common to males here? Yes, this 22. So this can, the answer for this question should be option B. Any doubts, guys? Any, I'll give. Okay, let's see. Okay, so in the following diagram, triangle represents, okay, this is similar to previous only. This is males, this is for doctors, okay, this is for government employees, and this represents corona, isn't it? Now, how many government employed doctors are either corona warriors or males or both? So government employed doctors, we have 34, sorry, 35, 14, 22, and 16 are government employed doctors. Okay, they should be either corona warriors. Yes. So what are the regions common to government employed doctors plus corona warriors? 22 and 16, isn't it? Or let me consider this: government employed doctors plus only corona warriors. Okay, so that will be 16, isn't it? Yes or no? So this is 16. Now, how many government employees are only males? Government employee doctors who are only males. We have 35, only 35, isn't it? Now he said that they can be both. Now let us determine how many government employed doctors are both corona warriors and males. So we have 22. So the answer for this question should be 16 plus 35 plus 22. So 51 plus 22 is 73. So how many of you have solved like this? How many of you have done like this? 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Do we have any other method? Yes. Okay. So we have 35, 22, and 16 and 14. These 4 regions, isn't it? So we want government employed doctors who are either corona or males. Okay. So if you observe, these 14 are not corona warriors and these 14 are not males as well. Okay. So you cannot consider this 14. So what are total number? 87. Okay. So from these 87, subtract 14, you will get 73. So this is the second method of doing that. Okay. Not common to these corona warriors and males. Okay, that number from the total number and get the answer. If same answer, no. If it is given that how many government employed doctors are either corona warriors or males, but not both. If this is mentioned, then you should not consider. Clear? Yeah. So if it is mentioned how many government employed doctors are either corona warriors or males, still it will be, the answer will be same. Clear, guys? Quick responses. Yes, clear. Okay, moving ahead. Next question. Okay, now let's see. In the following diagram, The rectangle stands for tennis fans. Okay, it's already mentioned here. Okay. So how many athletes playing hockey are either students or tennis fans, but not both? Now let us find the region common to hockey and students. So this is hockey and this is students. So we have this 5. Okay. Hockey and tennis fans. This is hockey and tennis fans. So you have 9. Okay. Now do we have any students who are both hockey players, students, and tennis fans? No, isn't it? Do we have any number in this region? No. So the answer for this question should be 5 plus 9, 14. Now for example, if we have 1 here, then what will the answer be? It will still be 14 only. You should not consider this region. The answer will still be 14. You should not consider this region. It will not be 13 or it will not be 15, because you should not consider the number of students who are not both, isn't it? You should not consider this. So the answer will be 5 plus 9, 14. Clear, guys? Quick responses. You have 1 minute. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Now, so in the following diagram, the rectangle, okay, they are already mentioned here. So how many engineers are lawyers as well as doctors? So first we need to find the common region between lawyers and engineers. So lawyers are represented by triangle and engineers by rectangle. So this is the common region, isn't it? Lawyers as well as doctors. So what do we need to find? We need to find the common region between engineers, lawyers, and doctors. So what is the common region between engineers and doctors? Or lawyers and doctors? This one, isn't it? So this region represents the intersection of all these three, isn't it? So how many engineers are lawyers as well as doctors? We have 5. You have Okay, 5 persons in this region. So the answer for this question should be 5, because this is the intersection of all the three regions: lawyers, doctors, and engineers. Okay, so the answer for this question should be 5. Perfect. Right answers from majority of you guys. Clear? So can I move to next question? Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's see. See. So find out the number of families which have TV and scooter. Which have TV and scooter, but should not have neither VCR nor, isn't it? Okay. Yeah. Now let's see. Now let's find the intersection between the number of families which have TV and scooter. This represents the number of families having TV, and this represents the number of families having scooter. So we have 4 regions: 30, 80, 20, and 15. Okay. Now they should not have VCR and Maruti, isn't it? Now if I observe these 4 regions, these 15 these 15 families will be having TV, will be having scooter, and also will be having Maruti. So I can eliminate this. Now if I look at this 80, these 80 families will be having TV, isn't it? Will be having scooter, and they also have VCR. So I can eliminate this, because as per the question given, they should not be having here or Maruti, isn't it? Now what are these 20? What do these 20 families have? They have all these 4 facilities with them. Okay. So they are having TV, scooter. So these can also be eliminated. Or the number of families which have TV and scooter will be 30. So the answer for this question is 30. Okay, this can also be done. Okay, if you can identify that, we need to find the region common to only TV and scooter. So what is the region common to only TV and scooter? This 30. So you can also find it in that way. So the answer for this question should be 30. Clear, guys? Clear? Any doubts? Quick responses, please. So this happens every time. So yeah, who are pharmacists? So to become a pharmacist, you need to do a separate degree, B Pharmacy or M Pharmacy. Okay, so then you will be given a certificate, a registration certificate. Okay, so that you will be eligible to start a medical shop, or you can start working in any drugs manufacturing companies. For example, say Reddy Labs. Okay, so pharmacists will be having different roles. Okay, they will be also working for research also, like which medicine to be used to cure which disease and so on. Yeah. So now if I consider this figure, square represents philosophers, triangle represents police officers, circle represents pharmacists, and rectangle represents Americans. Now which set of letters represent Americans who are police officers? So we need to find the common region between Americans and police officers. So common region between triangle and rectangle. So we have B and C. Okay, so the answer for this question should be B and C. It is not C. It should be yes. Okay, because are we said that okay? Are we said that only Americans and police officers? No. Okay, so are we said that they cannot be pharmacists? No. Americans who are police officers. So you need to select those regions which has Americans as well as police officers. They can be pharmacists. It's not mentioned in the question. So which set of letters represents American who are police officers but not pharmacists? Then your answer will, in that case, your answer will be C. Okay, clear. Now, this question. Okay, A and B. So in which figure, which set of letters represents architects who are also geologists? So square represents dancers. This is dancers. Triangle represents geologists. Okay, circle represents architects. And rectangle represents mothers. So which set represents architects who are also geologists? So we need to find the common region between geologists and architects. So the answer will be A and B. It should be AB. Perfect. So yeah, right answers from majority. Now coming to 10th question. So in the following figure, square represents athletes, triangle represents engineers, circle represents fathers, and rectangle represents entrepreneurs. Now, which set of letters represents others? Fathers. Now, coming to athletes and entrepreneurs. So, what is the common region here between athletes and entrepreneurs? F. Okay. Athletes plus only entrepreneurs and only fathers. Okay. Now, should we consider the region? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because it is not mentioned, cannot be both. So in that case, you need to consider that. So athletes and only entrepreneurs. So you have F here, athletes and only fathers. You have D here. Okay, and this E is common to athletes, entrepreneurs, and fathers. So you have D. So the answer will be F plus D plus E. Clear, guys? Quick responses. Quick responses. Yeah, but if nothing is mentioned, you can consider both. That's what my point is. Okay, so consider now. So this set has 5 questions. I'll give you 4 minutes. We'll discuss this after 4 minutes. Please, everyone. Yes. So in schooling, you might have studied these formulas. N of A union B is equal to N of A minus N of A intersection B. Isn't it? How many of you remember this? Okay. So do we have to solve this question? Not required. Not required. Okay. Now, in a college, 200 students are randomly selected. So this represents college which has 200 students, isn't it? Now, out of those 200, 140 like T. Okay. So let me consider this circle represents the people who like T. Okay. So this set represents who like T, and the total is 140. And 120 like coffee. So let me consider this circle represents the number of persons who like coffee, and now where do we have that? So if you observe, I can divide this Venn diagram into 4 regions. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Now tell me, what does this one region indicate? Region 1. What does region 1 indicate? College, or I can say who do not drink either tea or coffee. Okay, so the people outside these two circles, okay, will not drink tea, will not drink coffee. Now what does this region indicate? Region 2. Region 2, only coffee. Perfect. So here we will be having students who drink only coffee. Now region 4, only tea. And what does region 3 indicate? Both. Okay. Now in these type of questions, always start with intersection region, isn't it? Always start with intersection region. Okay. So we are given that 80 like both tea and coffee. So this will be 80. So if this is 80, let me assume we have T students who drink only tea, C students who drink only coffee. So this whole set represents for people who drink tea, isn't it? So 140 is equal to T minus 80, or T is equal to 140 minus 80. So this is 60. So you have 60 students who drink only tea. Clear, guys? Did you understand the difference between drinking tea and drinking only tea? Now, in the same way, okay, the total number of students drinking coffee is 120, which is equal to C plus 80. C is equal to 140 minus 80, which is 40. So we have 40 students drinking only coffee, 80 students drinking both tea and coffee. Now tell me, how at least one. At least one among tea and coffee. So this will be 40 plus 60 plus 80, total 180. Okay. Now let's see whether we can answer the questions or not. How many students like only tea? 60. How many students like only coffee? 40. How many students like neither tea nor coffee? So total number of students are 200. Okay, 180 students like at least one among them. So the remaining 20 students do not like either tea or coffee. Or the answer for this question is 20. This question is 180. Okay, how many students like exactly one beverage? So we have 40 plus 60. These 40 like only coffee, and these 60 like only tea. So the answer Sorry, this is 120 minus is not 140. This is 120. Yeah. Clear, guys? Any doubts? Quick responses, please. Any doubts? Quick responses. No. Okay. So moving to 3-set Venn diagrams. Okay, guys, shall we solve this together? Quick responses. Shall we solve this together? Yes. Okay. Now, so we have a company with 240 employees. So let me consider this represents company with 200. Okay. And the people, the employees in a company speak 3 different languages. Okay, let me consider this to be English, this to be Hindi, and this to be Telugu. Okay, so we have a total of 100 employees speaking only speaking English, then 110 speaking Hindi, and 140 speaking Telugu. Okay, now it is known that 30 speak both English and Hindi, 50 speak both Hindi and Telugu, 50 speak both Telugu and English, 20 speak English, Hindi as well as Telugu. So with which statement should I start this set? With which value? With the region common to all the 3 languages. So this. Okay, so this is the region common to all the 3 languages, and it is given that okay 20 speak English, Hindi as well as Telugu. So we have 20 employees in this region. Okay, now we have considered this. Now 50 speak both Telugu and English. Okay, so what is the region common to Telugu and English? This one. This is the region common to Telugu and English. So can I put 50 here? 50 there? No. Okay, because yeah, the number of employees in this whole region is 50. So in this whole region it should be 50. So the number of employees who speak only only English and Telugu will be 50 minus 20. So you will have 30 here. Clear, guys? Did you understand this difference? So 50 speak both Telugu and English. So this is the region common to both Telugu and English. So the total should be 50. You already have 20 people speaking Telugu, English and Hindi. So we will be having 30 students, 30 employees speaking Telugu, only Telugu and English. Clear? Any doubts? Quick responses, please. Yeah. Now 50 speak both Hindi and Telugu. Okay. So in the same way, this region, 1 minute. This region represents people speaking Hindi and Telugu. Total is 50. So we already have 20 here. So the people who speak only Hindi and Telugu will be 30. Okay. And it is known that 30 speak both English and Hindi. Okay. 30 speak both English and Hindi. So this region represents 30 people. We already have 20 here. So this will be 10. Perfect. Now coming to the people who speak English. So we have total 100 people speaking English. Okay. So out of 100, 10 speak English and only English and Hindi. 30 speak only English and Telugu. Okay. 20 speak all the 3 languages. So how many people speak only English? 40. So that will be 100 minus 10 minus 20 minus 30. So 100 minus 60, 40. So we have 40 employees speaking only English. So likewise, Okay, what are the total number of employees speaking only Hindi? That will be total minus 10 minus 20 minus 30. Perfect. And only Telugu, it will be 140 minus 30 minus 20 minus 30. So 140 minus. Now, so how many? So how many employees speak at least one of these three languages? Can someone tell me that? How many employees speak at least one among three? At least one, guys. Not exactly one or not less than one. At least one. So all these people will be speaking at least 100 plus 50, 150, 150 plus 30, 180, 180 plus 60 is 240. 40 employees speak at least one language. So can I say all the employees of the company will speak at least one of these three languages? So you do not have anyone who do not speak at least one of these languages. So every employee speaks at least one of these three languages, isn't it? Okay. So 1 minute. Okay. So outside it will be 0. Now coming to the questions. How many of them speak only Hindi? So you have 50 students, 50 employees who speak only Hindi. So how many of them speak both? 1 minute. Both Hindi and Telugu, but not English. So they have to speak only Hindi and Telugu. So you need to find the region common to only Hindi and Telugu. So you have 30 here, 30 employees. How many of them speak exactly one language? So you have the only English, 50 only Hindi, and 60 only Telugu. So total you have 150 students, sorry, 150 employees who speak only one language. Either it can be Hindi, English. So what is the answer for this? 19th. 60. Okay, excellent. So how many of them speak neither English nor Hindi? Or I can say that, okay, I can also rephrase this question as how many of them speak only Telugu, isn't it? Okay, or you need to find the region which is not common to English as well as Hindi. So the only region which is not common to English and Hindi is this region, this and outer region. So outer region it's 0 and here it is 60. So the answer is 60. So 60 employees do not speak English as well as Hindi. Clear, guys? Clear? Yes. Now moving to the last question. How many of them speak either English or Telugu? Is it 130? 160? I think it should be 190, guys. Okay. How many of them speak either English or Telugu? So you need to find the sum of all the all the regions with English as well as Telugu. So we have 40 people speaking English. These 30 speak English. These 20 speak all the three. These 10 speak English. Okay. Telugu. So all these regions have people who speak either English or Telugu, isn't it? So you have total 190. So if I ask you how many of them speak neither English nor Telugu, then what will be your answer? See here, it's not only English or only. If it is only English and only Telugu, it will be 100. Okay. So you told me that. Okay. So how many students, how many employees do not speak either English or Telugu is 50. So these 50 students do not speak English or do not speak Telugu. They speak only Hindi. So subtract this from 240. So remaining 190 students or 190 employees, sorry, remaining 190 employees will be speaking at least one of these two languages, isn't it? Yes or no? So the answer for this question should be 190. Okay. So the key to solve question from Venn diagrams is to start from the region common to all the regions. Clear? So any doubts in today's session? Quick responses, please. Clear? Yeah. So you can take a screenshot of this question. Okay, I will disclose the answers in the next class. Okay. So how are easy or difficult? Easy. Okay, but you should be very careful while doing problems on Venn diagrams. Okay, so yeah, please take a screenshot of this question if you want, and thank you guys. We'll see you in the next class.